Hi, A again.
Hi.
Now, what we're going to do today, we learned about DNA last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is have a look at how that really, really complicated thing is made a copy of. Just to remind you, you had the nucleus. Inside the nucleus, you've got
Was the
sausages.
sausage lines?
Yeah, actually, I've missed a stage out there, haven't I? So inside the nucleus, you've got how many pairs of chromosomes? Can you remember?
23.
Oh, good lad. And each one of these is like a little sausage made up out of chromatin. And from
Chromatin?
there, yeah,
Yeah.
you don't need to remember that, don't worry. From there, you've got your DNA, which if you unravel it, has
It
faith,
looks like a giant
looks like a giant what?
ladder.
It
This,
does.
the DNA is supposed to be huge.
It is huge, mate. But well, it's tiny, but it's complicated. Now, the question is, how do we make a copy of this incredibly complicated nucleus? And the answer is by a process called mitosis. All right,
I've heard of mitosis.
brilliant. I'm guessing because you overheard one of my lessons, right?
Uh, we did this before.
Did we really? Okay, well, we're
Yeah.
going to go through this really quickly. Um, Mitosis happens because the nucleus, which contains your 23 chromosomes, first undergoes a stage where all of those chromosomes line up along the middle, all right?
Yeah.
Then what happens is that a copy of those 23 pairs of sausages, 23 pairs of chromosomes, is made.
It's turned
That
into two, you mean? And then a three, then four.
Well, then what happens is the copy and the first original one gets pulled to each end. And then the nucleus splits like this into two. And then the cell itself splits into two. That is called cytoplasmic because it's the cytoplasm in the middle of the cell. Cytoplasmic division.
Oh, I've heard of this. I've been overhearing one of your lessons
Okay, mate.
again.
Well, what happens is that the cell that you had to begin with, remember that nucleus is within a cell. The cell that you had to begin with has an exact copy of itself made, all right? And that's really important for things like your skin, for example. If you were to just sort of rub your cheek like this, we do this several times a day, some of us more than others. You know, if you're sat there thinking, you might go, well, by the end of the day, you might be starting to wear a hole in your cheek. And we don't want a hole in our cheek. And the reason that we don't get one is because the cells are all the time making copies of themselves through this process called mitosis. Now, one or two key things about it. One, the original cell that you had, the first one is called the parent cell. What's it called?
Parent cell. Do
And
this.
the
You told the lessons again.
okay, and that produces daughter cells. Okay,
I know this again.
good. So the parent cell produces daughter cells, and from one parent cell, you get two daughter cells. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Also, these two daughter cells are identical. They're exactly the same as the first one. And it only involves one cell division. In other words, it just divides the once to give two daughter cells at the end. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
So just to go over it one more time. What's the name of this cell division? What's the name of this process?
Cytoplasmic division.
No, sorry if the question was vague. What's the name of the whole thing? It begins with M.
Mm.
My
Mitosis.
Mitosis, absolutely. So we've got mitosis, and the mitosis is the process in which we make a copy of the nucleus.
Yeah, and also first it lines up in the middle, then it gets another copy, which is next to it, and then it goes around the corners, and then it starts to get cut.
And it splits, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think you've mastered mitosis then?
Mm.
Give me 5. Well done. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.